And well, howdy do. This is Tom the Beer Whisperer. How the heck are you? So I'm here on a rather warm Sunday afternoon. Let's call it Bad Beer Sunday. I'm having a crafted lager. I'm sure the makers of Kraftig would not call it a bad beer. It does follow the Reinheitsgebot. It doesn't have any adjuncts. It is barley malt, water, hops, and yeast. It does follow the rules. All craft drinkers are probably going to put this in a bad beer category. If you're a macro drinker, you're probably going to put it in a regular beer category. If you're the manufacturer of this beer, you're probably just going to call it a good beer or a classic American lager. So put it wherever you would like. Truth is, I typically don't drink a lot of beers like this, but it's been just so unbearably hot. I do have an affinity for beers like this every now and again because this is what I grew up drinking. Now, I love the craft beer choices that are available, and given an option, I'll choose a craft Kolsch or a Pilsner over a beer like this every time. But as hot as it's been, there's nothing wrong with a beer like this, in my opinion, as a lawnmower beer, or just to enjoy, to be honest. This was $10 for 12-pack cans. You know, if you're going to do quantity over quality, this is certainly a better way to go than, say, PBR, for me anyway. Because at least you're getting a real beer, right? I mean, you're getting a real beer. I mean, it's barley malt, hops, water, yeast. I don't know if it's top quality of any of those things, but it's certainly better than the amount of corn syrup they chuck in that nasty PBR. I'm using a classic goblet for this particular video. This goblet here is, I'm guessing, about 50 years old. Somewhere in that ballpark. It's somewhere between 45 to 50 years old. A few years ago, we were unpacking some stuff, and I found a case of unopened glasses that got moved from California. Ended up out here when my parents moved. My dad had some beer bars in the 60s, sold by the 70s. But I found this unopened case, and I opened them. You know, I'm using them, so I know this is, I mean, it's probably not worth anything. It's just a glass. But, I mean, I know this particular set's somewhere between 45 to 50 years old. It is typical of glassware in beer bars of the time. It is a 10-ounce glass. It will not hold a 12-ounce beer, but it's a little deceiving because it looks like a big glass on the outside, but it's very thick, so it actually only holds 10 ounces. Most bars at the time only gave you a 10-ounce pour. You sold a 12-ounce bottle. You bought a 12-ounce beer if you bought it on draft. Draft was typically cheaper than the bottle, and that's why you thought you were getting a whole beer. You're only getting 10. But many people prefer drinking the draft to the bottle. Of course, with craft beer, the rules have changed. We all drink beer out of a glass now, but classically, way the hell back when, and again, there are exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, I remember as a kid being taken from bar to bar. That's how my upbringing was. You would probably see 80% of the men drinking out of the bottle and not a draft glass, and you would see, you know, probably 90% of women drinking out of a glass. I don't know why most men just went ahead and drank out of the bottle, women the glass, but that's really how it was back then. I'm not going to go into pretentious tasting notes on a beer like this because it just doesn't matter. A beer like this is meant to be refreshing. It is meant to quench your thirst. It really does do those things. It's a little sweeter than I personally like. Again, I would probably pick, given the options at the same price point, you know, a craft Kolsch or a Pilsner. But for the price of this, I mean, a 12-pack for $10, it's just not bad. And again, there's times just when a beer like this just hits a spot. Like right frickin' now when I'm just sitting out here. It's so steamy, I can feel my huevos steaming as we speak. I mean, if I stayed out here another 10 minutes, they'd be hard-boiled. I shit you not. It's that frickin' steamy out here. So, hey, I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer. We'll talk to you later.